Welcome again to Torah Anytime, to our daily segment of Daily Zohar. Kohelet says, Re'eh chaim im isha. Re'eh chaim im isha asher ahavta. See what life is with the woman that you loved. Come and see. Mikra zeh besod elyonu. That pasuk, that verse, is a very high secret. A secret that comes from a high place. It's a novel idea. Uve'arnu, and we already explained. Re'eh chaim, the word, now the Zohar takes and breaks it into pieces. Re'eh chaim, see life, u'chaim shel ha'olam haba, world, the life of the world to come, or the spiritual world. Depends how you look at it. Ki ashrehu ha'adam hazoche bo karaui. Lucky is the man who merits life in Olam Haba appropriately. And what would that be? Imisha asher ahavta, with a woman in which you loved. Now you know that everything that we say, especially in the subject of Kabbalah, is really a metaphor, many times quite poetic metaphors, in which things or concepts should not be taken literally always. Anytime it comes to, they use that metaphors as to show us something that otherwise will be impossible for us to grasp, to show us a relationship and so on and so forth. Example for that is, for example, let's say Shir HaShirim, Song of Songs, Shir HaShirim, how the interaction, so-called, between a beloved couple happens. So here too, Imisha asher ahavta, not necessarily a woman in which you loved. Which one is this? Be'olam haba, Zoi Knesset Israel. That is the body, the spiritual body that's called Knesset Israel. Knesset, like Beit Knesset, gathering, when all the Jews are gathered together. This concept is called Knesset Israel. Mishum sheba katuv ahava. It says, in regards to Knesset Israel, ahava, love. We said it numerous times. Love is one. The numerical value of love is 13. The same thing as the numerical value of love. Echad is 13 as well. So the manifestation of love, and before we said about love, love is another word for appreciation. But through this appreciation, you need to feel one with that entity. And a person, in a way, feels one with Am Yisrael as well. Here in this world, he felt this oneness. Am Yisrael, Goy Echad Ba'aretz, one nation in the land. Also, in Olam Haba, you will do that. That ahava, that love, in the merit in which you get in Olam Haba to be with Knesset Israel, would start with love that you feel to your fellow Jew in this world here. You're not going to merit that part if you haven't practiced it here. So it says also regarding Knesset Israel, Ve'ahavat olam ahavtich, I loved you eternal love. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu refers to Knesset Israel, and I loved you eternal life. Matai, what does it mean? Be'et shetzad yamin ochez ba, when the right side is holding to her, right? And the right side refers to, in the Kabbalistic term, to chesed. Chesed is what? Kindness, mercy, kindness. So when you're holding something with your right, you want to embrace it, right? Smolo tachad roshi, his left hand under my head, ve'yemino techabekeni, and my right arm will embrace me. That's in Shir HaShirim. So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, quote unquote, holds Knesset Israel betzad yamin, is a grasp of kindness. Kol yemei chayeh hevlecha, in the pasuk, all the days of your hevel means really a something that is meaningless, like the vapor that comes from somebody's mouth. That's considered to be hevel. Kol yemei chayeh hevlecha, all the days of your, your vapor life, What is that? Right? Bishum shehi nikshera b'chaim. Because it was connected through life. V'hi, and what is that? Olam sheshorim bo chaim. In a world in which living form presence. Ki ha'olam hazeh en chaim shorim bo mishum shehu tachat hashemesh. In this world, there's not real, when you think this is really life, it's not really life. Because it's under the sun, it's a physical. Real life is a spiritual life. We tend to think about it just completely different. We tend to think about that when we're dead, we are dead. Needless to say that when we are alive, when we're dead, this is the beginning of the true life. Lema davar domeh. Let's say, for example, you have a kid, in a baby in his mother's stomach. He feels very comfortable there. And you go tell the kid, listen, there's another world out there where there's colors and you have to eat and the food comes into your mouth and so on and so forth. Says, come on, this is impossible. I'm very comfortable here. I'm floating in my mother's stomach. This is terrific. I'm getting food through my stomach, from my umbilical cord, through the mouth. It's impossible. There's no such thing. Show it to me and I'll believe it. And I would say, okay, not a problem. All of a sudden you go through the birth canal and it's like, the baby's all stressed and cramped and so on and so forth. And then he comes out to the world and hold and behold, look at this. And there is a life like this. You don't eat anymore from your stomach, you eat from your mouth. There are colors, there are smells, there are other people. So what was real? That world or this world? What's more real? Your life here. Lehavdil is the same process. Our life here is being inside the womb. The passage through it is either the process of dying or Chevle Mashiach. Chevle Mashiach and Chevle Leda. Chevle Leda are what? Birth pains. Chevle Mashiach are the birth pains, so-called, of the Messianic era. That's why Olam Haba could be translated as Olam Haba in terms of the spiritual world, or it could be Olam Haba where there is Tikkun Olam, the world to come when the world is going to be perfect. One or the other. It's the same thing. So don't think that this is what is called life here. And it says, Chashach Hashemesh Betzeto, and it goes like this. This is considered to be Olam Hazeh, מפני שהוא תחת השמש. ואין אורותיו של השמש מגיעים כאן לעולם הזה. What we call the sun, the light source, not necessarily the sun that we have in the sky. In Sefer Bereshit, when he talks about the light, and then he created the light sources, what does that mean? Kabbalistically meaning there's a special light that we don't really see. The light that we see right now from the sun is a physical light, but the spiritual light is being hidden, is being put to the side. And he goes, "V'nistalku min ha'olam miyom shenecherav Beit HaMikdash." Since Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, that spiritual light that came and shed the world with its light is gone. Beit HaMikdash was the receptacle in which light was able to disperse into the world. As you know, there were other spiritual qualities that are gone together with it. For example, all the miracles which daily had happened, first and second Beit Mikdash. The second Beit Mikdash less than the first, but nevertheless there were still miracles in the second Beit Mikdash. Daily miracles. You didn't have to go far to see a miracle. You would bring any person to see a miracle. That's what it is. It was amazing. And prophecy. Prophecy is gone from this world. The spiritual energy was gone. The desire only in return to balance those things out. The desire to counter it so we will be able to practice our free choice was great desire for idol worshipping. In a way, the Midrash tells us that when Sheikh Knesset had to give up one or the other, so they gave up prophecy in order to take away Avodah Zarah. But nevertheless, the light of the spiritual world is not shining anymore since Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. And that's why it says, Choshech HaShemesh Betzeto. When the sun will rise, it's going to be dark. It's not going to shine. What does exactly mean? Now we need to be able to understand poetry, poetic metaphors. It says, what is that? Hainu she'oro alav ve'eno meir. There is light, but there's darkness. Remember, we talk about the dark ages, the middle ages, and so on and so forth. What, there was no sun at that time? Was it a total eclipse of the sun? No. Maybe total eclipse of the heart, but not the sun. What does it mean? It means that the world was in darkness. And it goes like this. But you should know, in times of darkness, there's something else. It says that you got to do what you got to do. We always say that. But how does it fit with the world of the Torah? It says in Sefer Kohelet, Kol asher timtza yadcha la'asot bekochacha aseh. Anything in which you will find right in your hand to do, that you are able to do, do it. If you're able to do something, do it. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Don't neglect it, because it was given to you to do. Mikra zeh yesh listakel bo. You need to look at this verse very carefully. I mean, again, you want to talk about success in life? Here's one key to success. An opportunity comes to your hand, which is within your powers. Not an opportunity came to your head to take loans that are above your means and so on and so on. You can't pay, like the houses crisis that we had here. Whatever is within your power to do, do it. It's not in your power, don't do it. Whatever is your ability. It's a key to success. It says, and what is this? But a person can do whatever he wants without giving an account to everything. Who says you're allowed to do so? Ela la'asot bekochacha, to do with your power. Ma'u bekochacha? What does it mean, your power? Zeu nishmato shel ha'adam. This is man's soul, your spirit. Shu kocho shel ha'adam. That's what gives you the koach. You could be a very powerful physically person, but arguments like if you are set in depression, you don't have the spiritual power, the mental power to actually to do anything. So it's not necessarily the physical power, it's the internal power. So whatever is in your koach of your neshama to do. And what is that? Liskot la'olam hazeh, to merit this world and the world to come. And the world to come. What would that be? Whatever you can learn Torah. In learning Torah, you'll merit ba'olam hazeh, and you'll merit la'olam haba. How would I merit ba'olam hazeh? That's very simple. And on a lower level, well, first of all, you have olam hazeh, you know what to do, you don't get lost, you do your mitzvot, you have a meaning in life, and so on and so forth, so you zochel olam haba without a doubt. That's on a small scale. So you can merit that it was given to you, that's something that you do. You don't learn Torah with your body. You don't need to be a weightlifter to learn Torah. There is an emotional power. There's an internal power. Whatever is given your ability to do, do. You have a power to learn, learn. You have a power to learn. You didn't learn, you got a problem. Lashon acher, a different take on that pasuk. Zo ha'isha. Ma sheyesh kol bekochacha la'asot ze ha'isha. That is your wife. Shehi ha'koach lidgaber ba. A right woman will give you the power to overcome many, will give you the power to do things and to overcome many of the obstacles will come in your life. And in the world to come, right, which will bring you to the world to come. So therefore, in this world, a person needs to merit this power in order for him to be strong, to receive Olam Haba. And this is going to be, I guess, it's going to be a part one, because tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to go a little bit further into that. And what that will be? There will be that after a person deports this world, en bo koach la'asot mashu, you don't have the ability to do anything in this world. You don't have any ability to do anything in this world. The world, the time and the place to do things is here, is now. Many times, when you marry the right woman, she will push you to do things. She will encourage you, not to push. She would encourage you to do what you need to do. And in your weakness, you decided not to do. That's what shenikah ezer kenegdo. She's going to encourage you, to push you to reach the level in which you could. That's why a woman receives sachar. Women are not obligated to learn Torah. But how would they get their share of learning Torah? Very simple. Make your husband learn. When she helps the husband, encourage him to learn, she gets the zchut of the Torah that he learns. The more he learns, the more zchut she has. The less he learns, and so on and so forth. Then more than that, since the husband would learn, she would encourage him, he will be a good role model for his children, for his sons as well. So when they learn, she will get the zchut as well. So that is meriting ba'olam hazeh. So you have a woman, first of all, who understands better than you. Women have a greater intuition than men. Women will understand, she understands better than you what needs to be done, and that you need to do it. So you'll have olam hazeh, so you have less arguments, more understanding. Most marriages break because of lack of communication. That's number one cause for divorces. Lack of communication. They don't speak the same language. So you have olam hazeh. You have a house that you want to come to. You understand. You speak the same language. You're building the building together. And without a doubt, you have chelek la'olam haba, a piece to the world to come, because of the work in which you have done in this world. Rabotai, we should all merit zchut ba'olam hazeh and ba'olam haba. And Be'ezrat Hashem, for those of you who are not married, all of you, I wish that you have a right spouse that would understand and would encourage you to do the right thing. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.